is it is video games, but it is just like also demons. Maybe that's what it is. Also, it's video games and demons. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's see. My mic's picking me up. The audio is picking you up, so we can begin. Welcome to the Gamedads podcast, where we talk about video games and everything but video games. I am here with my co-host and best gamer. Let's say gamer.
Oh, I got a new title.
Brett Altmiller.
I'm here. What's up?
Okay, so before we get into anything, this is on my mind because it happened really recently and I heard about it really recently. So I'm just going to start with this, just like right off the bat. I'm just going to feed you guys like the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. So there is a streamer, and I have like a sort of respect for streamers just because I've tried to do what they do and it's harder than it sounds. And she streams Minecraft, but like she streams Minecraft because her grandson has cancer, and she streams Minecraft to pay his medical bills. Her name is Grandma
Okay.
Crackers, and
Grandma Crackers?
Grandma, make sure
Grandma.
Grandma Crackers. And she, like I said, she literally streams Minecraft, and she streams Minecraft specifically to pay her grandson's medical bills for his cancer treatment. So some demon, some like monster like swatted her.
Oh, I heard about this.
Like
Yeah, that's what it was.
like she swatted her, said that her son who she's paying, her grandson who she's paying for his cancer treatments, shot and killed her and then was going to kill himself, and like swatted her. If somewhere in your soul you look deep down and you don't find anything that stops you from swatting a grandma who streams specifically to pay for her grandson's cancer treatments,
Asterisk, swatting anyone. That's not okay.
Swatting
Because people
anyone,
die from that stuff.
swatting anyone is bad. Period! Exclamation point! Full stop. But like swatting a grandma who's streaming to pay for her grandson's cancer treatments, and like nothing in your soul is like, maybe I shouldn't do this. You need to go and seek professional help. Like you need to go to a facility and have someone monitor you. There should probably be a priest there.
Idiots.
There should probably be a priest there, just like, because he might just see like the demon that's inside of you, and like he can like hit you with some holy water or something. Like, I just being tongue in cheek about this, but like, as I won't say I don't believe in evil, but I just believe people can just be horrible. Like I don't actually believe that anyone's possessed by a demon. I just think people are horrible and they don't see enough consequence in doing the things that they do to stop them. So
yeah.
But like I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna talk about that on the podcast. That's like, because that's the implication. I don't want to sit here and dwell on this because I feel like anyone who's in the gaming space long enough knows what swatting is to know that it's bad. But like, that's the implication, that you want to send armed police to someone's house in hopes that something bad happens. Like, you're a terrible person. And I don't know if they can find whoever did it, if they know whoever did it. But like, if that person is found and like that you find out about it, you should be ostracized from society. You should be put somewhere where your machinations can't.
Yeah, that's messed up. Done on starting on a high note. Yeah. I'm literally rolling out of the recliner from a nap with my daughter. So I don't know how much juice I have today, to be perfectly honest. So that's a good way to get me fired up.
Yeah, I'm picturing this one was going to be pretty short. I just like the craziness of the world right now. I feel like we need a Game Dads podcast to talk about
Yeah. I actually took a day off from literally everything yesterday. 3-day weekend, baking, holiday, and all that stuff. Memorial Day, for those who choose to remember, I guess.
it. Yeah, for those who
But
are
no, dude,
American who celebrate.
yes, I no, dude, I shut my phone off. Did I was unreachable yesterday. It was fantastic. I do that every once in a while. I haven't done it in a long time, just because having a baby at home, you want
Yeah,
you know some form of communication and all that. But it was just my daughter and I at home yesterday, and Allie was at work. And no, dude, I was off the grid, as it were. It was fantastic. So nice and restful Saturday.
sounds good.
Yeah.
I tried to have a nice restful Saturday, but I was like, I'm gonna come in my bedroom and hook the Switch up and play some video games. And instead, the kids came in and dogpiled on me, and then we just like laid around like in a big puppy pile for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Video games during the day, I found anymore very, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
So, yeah, part of it. So Drake gets to play. He can go back to his room and all that stuff. He has no responsibilities, but no, it's part of the baby stuff.
yep. I
Which
on the what you play inside, am I'm in a weird spot, and I'm very like an excitingly weird spot as Satisfactory update comes out June 2nd,
Mhm.
and I think I feel it in my bones a little. Think when that update comes out, that is going to be my last Satisfactory playthrough until a major update happens, until like Satisfactory 2.0 comes out or something.
Right.
Because
Why? Are you just cutting yourself off or what?
a little bit, it's a little bit of like, I just, I've gone through the game multiple times at this point. I'm up to 3 different completed playthroughs, and the, it's just like the only thing I can do at this point is like further polish my attempts that already exist. I'm like, I'm looking to move on to some more like more thinky stories. I'm looking to get some art and some emotion. And Satisfactory is a pretty emotionless game. So like, but like the new update has fixes cars, which I'm really really excited about because I use them a lot, and sometimes they're a big pain in the butt. And if the fixes are as good as everyone's reporting them in experimental mode, it's gonna basically solve every problem I'm having with my factories right now. Just like instant fix. And then they also added a randomizer, so you can randomize everything in the game, which I'm going to use that. And they added a goal multiplier, like you have to like when you when you're normally playing, you have to get like 50 of these things, and then you move on to the next level. Well, you can multiply how many things you need to get to the end, and you can multiply it by 100.
Wow.
So my next playthrough, when this update comes out, is going to be completely randomized with 100 times all the goals. And when I finish that, I will have satisfactoried enough.
You would be satisfied.
Yes.
Your factory is satisfied.
So other than that, I've been playing I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I finished all the the proto relic stuff and got all the Genji stuff, and I just at this point I have to like sit down and like grind out for, I think it's dark matter. I think I need for a lot of like the item combos. So I just at this point I have to sit down and just grind out dark matter until I finish it. So at this point I'm kind of like not like stuck, but I'm just like I'm not in a grind mood. I'm not in the mood to grind
Yeah.
it. So I'm like, I'm gonna put this down again until I'm in the mood to grind these out, and then once I grind these out, I'll pick back up. But I'm not in the mood for it right now. I
Yeah, I
started,
feel you.
yeah, I started. Crap. Now I'm drawing a brain blank. I started Fire Emblem Three Houses. That's what it is.
Oh, cool.
So I'm like the very beginning, and that was like part of yesterday. I was like sitting down to play it, but like kids were bothering me, so I barely could read anything. I was probably like find a different time and actually sit down and play it where I can actually read things.
Yeah, let me know you'll like that one. Definitely. Just last, there's been a lot of Fire Emblem over the last years, but like Awakening was the one that really just grabbed me, and then everything else has been kind of like oh hum,
Mm-hmm.
like it's very Persona inspired, especially Three Houses. Like you go and have like tea times and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm interested to see like what you think about that one.
Yeah, so far it's been. I've kind of been like, it's rare that I do this, but I kind of did a little bit of like research on this game before I bought it, just because I wanted to like, what am I getting into? I know I'm getting into a tactical, JRPG style game, but like, what am I getting into? Friggin' Fire Emblem's a big series, and I've actually never played a Fire Emblem game before.
Oh, for real? Wow. Okay.
So I was like, I want a little bit of background on what I should know. And like, I set myself up for like the actual, like normal mode where like all the deaths are permanent and stuff, just to like give myself a little like, you got to get into this game, like Nuzlocke run. Like you can't just be messing around. But
Yeah, you definitely have to be very thoughtful with your stuff. The newer games, they've taken away a lot of the. Or at least you could turn off permadeath and all that. Fire Emblem's always been pretty hardcore. This one, and if you still have your 3DS, go get Awakening. It's I don't know if it's like what it costs or anything like that, but that's if you're new to Fire Emblem, that's the one to play. Or if you've got Switch 2 with the Switch Online thing, the GameCube, Path of Radiance is on there, and that one's pretty good too. That's the GameCube one. That's where like Ike and Marth and all them come from.
yeah, but I'm excited to check it out. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, there's a crowd that I would consider myself to be a part of that love these games. So I'm not at all worried about jumping in and seeing what they got.
Yeah. It's definitely not Final Fantasy Tactics. Like it I don't want to say dumbs it down, but like it's very rock, paper, scissors, like kind of like what Pokemon is. So like, and I'm going to butcher this. It's been a while since I played it, but like swords are good against spears, and spears are good against like bows, and so on and so forth. But like ever since Persona got popular, like Persona got popular with 4,
Mm.
but it really blew up with 5. Fire Emblem has taken a lot of the things that Persona has done. So like I mean, Fire Emblem's always had the relationship stuff, but like they go into like the dating aspects of it as well. Like it's not full on dating sim or anything like that, but it gets like you've always been like with Awakening, you could actually like you can have 2 characters get married, and it's kind of like breeding a Pokemon. Which, gosh, I don't want to describe this as breeding. Jesus Christ! But you can take 2 characters that have like certain abilities and stuff, and they can like get married and have a kid, and the kid will have abilities from both mom and dad. So
Oh,
yeah, I guess it's kind of breeding.
got my little
Whatever.
people farm on. I got you.
Yeah, it's a people farm for sure.
So yeah, I played that, and then I got my final game is like a story I gotta tell. So me and Andrea are huge Borderlands fans. Andrea didn't like Borderlands 3 that much. I didn't like it anywhere near as well as I like 2 or any of the other Borderlands games. But I played and beat 3, even though I didn't play any of the DLC, which I'm sure probably comes into play at some point. But I played it. I got the ending. I was like, yay, this is surprising. I can't believe they actually decided to go this route. and now we're playing
Yeah.
4. We got 4, started playing it, finally plugged it in, played it for maybe an hour and a half, just really got through the first part. And you're like, yeah, that's interesting. It's still not Borderlands 2, but yeah, I'm in for now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Set it down, and
I, thi-
Andrea, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying, I think that's what happens most of the time when you have like, the game that pops off from the series. So like with Final Fantasy, it was 7, you know what I mean? So like everything else after that, it's like, well, this is great, but this is not 7, you know? Even
But
though 8 and 9 are both great games, like they're not like the one that popped off, if that makes sense.
like, I understand what you're saying, and yes, I've experienced that many times in video games, but this isn't that. Like, 7 is an amazing Final Fantasy game, and it revolutionized the genre. There isn't going to be another Final Fantasy that hits like 7 did, but Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 9 is just fucking good. Like, it's just good.
Yeah.
Like,
It was
this
8.
is like not that.
Yeah.
So
What?
I,
Oh, were you laughing at 8?
I'm not laughing at 8. 8's good, but I wouldn't say
8 laughs at you.
I wouldn't say it's as good as 7, but I would say 9 is as good as 7. It's
It's
not
still,
gonna.
this is a Gamedads deep cut and stuff, but I still maintain that if 8 came out first, we would be talking about Squall, Leonhardt.
I,
Oh, just saying. But
but
that's a discussion for another
yeah.
day.
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't hit the same way because Borderlands 2 has this kind of like, I don't know. The best way I would say Borderlands to describe Borderlands 2 is
Je ne sais quoi.
it feels like a revenge story from the start. Like, as soon as the game starts, you're like, I got to get back at Handsome Jack. Like, that's you feel it immediately. And that carries you through the rest of the game. Plus, Handsome Jack's a douchebag and he's perfectly casted. So he's always in your ear, making you like it. The game pulls you to the ending because you want to get there. You want to fight Jack. Like, this new one, they attempt to do the same thing with this character who's like this, supposed to be this guy who's like your target, and they set you up at the very beginning because he's trying to kill you, but it doesn't hit the same.
Right.
Like, I mean, I really don't know how to explain the difference, but like, it just doesn't hit the same way. That first opening, like, train scene where you and all of the other Vault Hunters are on this train, and like the attack from Jack just comes out of nowhere. You feel like you're starting the game and it just sort of like happens. It like and then you end up meeting Claptrap and moving on. The exact same thing happens in 4. Like, you're minding your own business in a house, and then the bad guy shows up and his minions show up, and then they beam you up onto his ship and take you captive, and then like another Vault Hunter comes and gets you and like saves you, and then you get out of there, and then you run into Claptrap, and then it all starts like it's the exact same, but it just doesn't hit the same way. But like, I love Borderlands, so I'm willing to like, just the gameplay loop is fun, especially 2 players sitting on the couch with my wife, just running around, shooting stuff, blowing stuff up. Like, it's a good gameplay loop for 2 people to sit around and play. So even if the story doesn't like grab me the same way, I'm still willing to give it a shot. But we put it down. Andrea's playing Resident Evil. She's in the Resident Evil verse zone right now. Like, she's playing Resident Evil 9. She's gone through like 4 or 5 different playthroughs. She did in the ridiculous mega quest where you have to like sit and watch bodies go into a grinder for like 25 minutes and do
Oh
all
yeah.
of these random little things to get like a random accomplishment that's just like, here's a bunch of not big enough for the amount of work required amount of points just as something to do. Like, she did all of it. She's just been playing Resident Evil nonstop. So puts in Resident Evil and is playing and just, bebopping around doing her thing. And apparently Lee was trying to get the Borderlands 4 disc out of the case, and he just cracked it right in half.
Oh dang.
Like, my 3-year-old just like pow popped a PlayStation 5 CD in half. So I no longer own
Well,
Borderlands 4 because my son literally snapped the disc in half out of the case.
gotta go digital, baby.
Yeah, I did everything. Like it wasn't just the disc wasn't just sitting around. It was in the case, closed on the shelf, and he pulled it off the shelf and was trying to pull the disc out and snap the disc in half. So
That stinks, dude.
it's one of those like these things happen. I know he wasn't trying to break it; he was just trying to get it out of the case. But like, if I had left it out, like just sitting on the shelf or something, he had picked it up and broken it, I would feel bad because like I would be like, okay, if I had have had that game in the case, then he wouldn't have grabbed it. If
Right.
like if that were the case, then I would feel bad. But like it was in the case and he was trying to get it out and he broke it. It's just like, what are you gonna do at this point? Like it just
Yeah.
shit happens. So
It
that
happens.
that happened. That's my Borderlands 4 story because I no longer own Borderlands 4.
Yeah. Well, you do. You just can't do anything with it.
I consider the disc being in its totality to be owning it, and anything less than that is not owning it.
Yeah. So by definition, like it's still in your possession and stuff, but it just is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's one of those. It just is what it is. Sucks.
yep.
Nothing I can do about it. When the game gets cheaper, when I can find a PS5 copy of it for $15, I'll probably buy it again. And me and Andrew will play it then. But like right now, it's just I don't own Borderlands 4.
That stinks, dude.
Yeah. So, but that is it for me. What have you been gaming on, my dude? Sounds like you've
Not a
been
whole
busy
lot.
over there.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Like I took a little bit of a break. I went through, got my Requiem Platinum. That was fun. Gosh, I don't even know how many playthroughs I did on that one. It was over 10. Loved it. I don't want to play it again for a while. Like I don't. I see people saying like it's the best. It's not the best Resident Evil. Like not even close. But it is really good. I loved it a lot. There's a lot of things in that are just really satisfying. It's very fan servicey for a Resident Evil game, which like I thought 7 and 8 were a little bit more on the bold side for just going in different directions and all that other stuff. But like for the people that have been really wanting, Leon back and, what's up with Raccoon City and all that stuff, like it answers a lot of questions, but it like creates a lot more questions as well, like story wise. So I'm satisfied with it. I loved it. It's I'm happy to walk away from it for a little while. So I got my platinum in that. That was I think 141, and then I got my Cyberpunk platinum. I finally got that one done. That was actually number 140, and that's kind of what inspired me to go back and get my platinum in Requiem. But I only had a few things left. It was mostly just clean up stuff and then seeing a couple different endings. And keep in mind, I did all this stuff about a month ago. I've been kind of in a gaming funk since then. So there's going to be a little bit of a gap between like that stuff and the current stuff. But you have to go do these like night city police scanner things. And the way that I have built my character, she's very fast. So she plays a lot like a Doom character.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like Netrunner, which is like hacking and stuff, but like I've got a sniper rifle for long distance, but my bread and butter is my katana. So I'll jump in and just slice dudes up, and then I'll get up on my bike, and then I'll take off to the next one, so I can knock those things out pretty quickly. Did a couple of the extra endings that I needed to do. There's a ton of endings in that game, but like there's only 3 required for the platinum, and it does that cool thing where it just when you finish it, it just dumps you right back at the beginning, or not the beginning, right before the point of no return. So you can go back and just re-experience it and stuff. So loved it, dude. Like that one, I still think is probably my favorite open world RPG. It's not. I mean, it is open world. It's not open world in the sense of like The Witcher or whatever, but like Night City is just so alive. There's so much to do in it. Like everything in that game just feels on purpose. Like everything was intended to be where it was at that point in time. It's so good. And just to see where Cyberpunk was when it came out. And I still maintain that game just, and if they had canceled the PS4 and Xbox versions, they would have got bad press for that. Yes, but if they had saved it for the PS5 and the Xbox, whatever the Xbox is, and or the series consoles and PC, like PC was where it probably should have just launched first and then consoles later and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they would have had to have the whole redemption story, whatever. I think it would have been just good from the get go. But yeah, so it just Cyberpunk. I'm happy to put that one away. You know, I finally got my platinum. I'll go back to it again eventually, but for now, it's earned a spot on my platinum trophy shelf. Very proud of that platinum.
Yeah, sounds
Uh,
good.
dude, yeah. So like, and I thought I'd be on a roll with platinums and all that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I got really ambitious after I got those two. I'm like, what's next? What should I do next? I hit a gaming rut, dude. I haven't really been able to get into much lately. So the new Star Wars movie's out. So I'm like, I don't really care about Mandalorian and Grogu, to be quite frank. But like, I saw a lot of like really negative online discourse, and then I kind of caught myself being negative towards it as well, and like trying to figure out like because I love Star Wars. I got into it late in life, like in my adult. I was in my 20s. Like whenever the DVD came out, with the triple pack of the original trilogy, mostly just because I was interested in it and I had played. It was the original trilogy that got me into it, of course, and Knights of the Old Republic on the Xbox. So that was one of my most played games on Xbox. But like, I've been a fan of it for the last 20 years, and like, I got myself kind of in this negative funk with Star Wars. Just Disney ruined it and blah 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 blah. So I'm like, I'm gonna go back and reacquaint myself with Star Wars. So I've taken some time off of it. So I've been watching the prequels. I'm gonna hit the original trilogy probably either late today or tomorrow, and I'm gonna watch the sequel stuff. But video game wise, I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order, which I platinumed that back in 2020. It was one of my like 20 something platinums that year just because we were all stuck at home and I had nothing to do but play video games. But I'm into it. And like, again, taking some time off of it, it's really cool to kind of pick up on the stuff from the movies that are in the game. Like, because I'm watching the movies and I'm playing the game. And I'm doing everything kind of like bit by bit. And like there's characters like really random, like one-off characters that show up in the game that are I should say they show up in the movies and then they're like big time characters in the game. So like, there's a Wookiee named Tarful
Mm-hmm.
that helps Yoda escape Kashyyyk right after Order 66. Like Tarful's just like he's one of the leaders of the resistance with Saw Gerrera. I think that's Forrest Whitaker. But yeah, it's just cool picking up on that stuff. So, and then the game, of course, is just awesome. So anytime you get to play with a lightsaber and all that, it's just really cool.
Yeah, I don't have like a hatred of Star Wars. I can't get into it. I try every once in a while, and I just something about it that just like is like a wall I can't get past.
It's pulpy, dude. And it's like I completely understand because I'm the same way with like high fantasy stuff. So like I have a hard time with like it took me a while with like Harry Potter and even like Lord of the Rings. Like like outside of like Fellowship, I just don't like Lord of the Rings really. Like it's fine, you know what I mean? But like it just not always your cup of tea. And like not everything has to be
Yeah,
our cup of tea, you know? Like and I completely I respect that.
yeah.
So and dude, go ahead.
I'm having an issue right now because I don't mean this in a negative way. I mean this in an observation way. Again, people, I don't have issue with Star Wars, but like Lord of the Rings is going down the same path that Star Wars is, and like I don't want to be a part of it. Like, I love Lord of the Rings. Like, literally, I was going through old stuff the other day because I was cleaning out the garage, and I have multiple copies of the original trilogy. I think I have two separate copies that I bought at two separate times of the original trilogies. I have the I have like physical copies of the books that I've read, and I have like a box set of the books that I have never touched. I The fact that they're making two new Lord of the Rings movies, and there have been two previous Lord of the Rings movies that have come out. I haven't even watched them. Like the
Yeah.
I forget what the Rohan. There's a Rohan movie that came out.
The anime one.
The anime one. I love anime, and I have not seen it. I love
Yeah,
anime.
supposedly it's booty.
Yeah, I love anime, and I love Lord of the Rings, and I haven't seen it. Like,
Yeah.
I as much as I am not a Star Wars fan, I am completely with those Star Wars fans who are like, stop making movies. Stop it.
Yeah, it's so, and I'm one of those guys, and I'm trying to figure out like why I am like that, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get to the end of this trek, this journey, and I'll be like, you know what? There's too much Star Wars.
It's not even there's too much Star Wars. It's just for
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah. There, I mean, the expanded universes of Star Wars are crazy. That's not what I'm meaning, but like,
Whoa, 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 whoa. So they killed us. They killed the expanded universe. That stuff was great. Like the expanded universe stuff existed because they weren't doing anything with Star Wars. Like there was a gap between Return of the Jedi and the Phantom Menace. So there was like what 16 years there where books and video games and toys and just these hardcore Star Wars fans were keeping this thing alive. And then by the time Phantom Menace came out, those guys showed up, as did all like the newer generation and stuff. And it's just like they're, but like this extended crap that Disney's been doing, and here I am going off again. Um, so like, but it's like it's not that there's no books. They killed that extended universe stuff. So everything that like Luke did after Return of the Jedi just gone. Like it's replaced with this version. Like it's Mark Hamill, yes, if all the kids let's go crazy because it's awesome, but like it's sad old man Luke Skywalker. Like he's not this same hopeful. I don't know, but like there's TV show after TV show after TV show, and now the TV shows are getting movies. So the TV show based on the movie is now getting a movie of its own based on the TV show.
like, I don't hate that, but what I'm trying to get at is Lord of the Rings. While there's tons of stuff that can go off of Lord of the Rings, it's written by one dude, and that dude is
Yeah.
dead. And like, for them to like carve little bits of like what they're doing, like the one that Stephen Colbert's making, and I understand Stephen Colbert is one of the hugest Lord of the Rings fans probably ever, and his entire career he has been stuck in a chair somewhere and not been able to get in on all of this Lord of the Rings stuff that's been happening. So now he's finally out of the chair and he's like, God damn it, I want my moment to be in Lord of the Rings. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand. But like,
that feels more like a publicity stunt to me than anything else.
No.
Like, let's
No.
Well, no. I'm not talking about Colbert.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Colbert. Like I'm saying capitalizing on the fact that he's like they're capitalizing on the fact that he's not in the chair anymore. Like very publicly got fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By CBS and all that stuff. And they're capitalizing on the fact that he's got the sympathy or whatever. And like, and dude, I'm with Colbert on all that. Don't get me wrong. But Lord of the Rings they're giving him a job, and I love that. But like, I think part of it is publicity. Like, hey, like the guy that everybody is feeling very sympathetic for, come see his movie. It's not going to suck. I promise.
Like,
it's going to suck.
Like,
well, I shouldn't say.
The issue that I have with it is like, even beyond that is, do you know how they're making his movie, what the story of his movie is.
Yeah, it's the like 3 chapters that weren't adapted from Peter Jackson.
Yeah, it's literally like they took these tiny little bit of the Lord of the Rings story, that just this little nugget that's like, oh well, we didn't adapt this because it's got Tom Bombadil in it, and like introducing Tom Bombadil as a character adds all kinds of stuff to the story that we just didn't want to deal with, so we just didn't add all this Tom Bombadil stuff in. And then he's just like, well, what if I just make a movie where I just add all of that stuff in? It's like, the reason that the Lord of the Rings movies are so great is because the mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains of stuff that they had to cut out. Like, buddy,
Yeah,
if you watch the extended versions of those movies, they're like 6 hours long. Like, there's a reason all of that shit had to get cut out. And now you're adding things that Peter Jackson cut before he started cutting the 6 hours that he cut.
right. Well, and on top of that too, is just like, are they going to connect to those ones to Peter Jackson's movies? Like, is this a continuation, or is this just like? And I'm going to use this word because I use it for Star Wars as well. Are they just whoring it out?
It feels so hoary to me. It just feels like
Yes.
I understand where you're at, Stephen Colbert, and I empathize with you completely. I understand it way too well what it's like to like want to get in on some shit, but you're got other shit going on and you just can't. But like, leave the story alone, man.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson made, I won't say flawless, I won't say perfect, but I want to say the best version of that story that he could have possibly done. Like,
Oh, and even he jumped the shark eventually.
Yeah, like
those Hobbit movies.
like like the the problem, and like I'm sure I'm probably speaking to people who know, but like the problem with those Hobbit movies is the exact problem he's about to have with this. Those Hobbit movies are 3 movies that are stretched out of one book that's shorter than the Fellowship of the Rings. Like, he stretched it.
Hobbit's a very speedy read too. Like, you can get through that thing pretty quickly.
And it's like,
there's a lot of the old timey stuff, like the old time English, but like it's a pretty brisk read.
Yeah, like to like to take that book that's already like, if you read through the Hobbit, like I read the Hobbit to Dom when she was in the hospital. Like, I went every night and I would read her a couple pages out of the Hobbit. That was my thing. Like, reading that book and then comparing it to the entire rest of Lord of the Rings, like the entire thing, it's like actually reading the Hobbit feels like reading like a fourth of Fellowship of the Rings.
Yeah. So, it's not meant to be a long journey. Like, it just like the Fellowship is a long journey, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is a conversation that probably needs to be his own podcast. But like, as I've already said, Stephen Colbert, I completely feel for you. If I were some super famous person and then all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, Aaron, do you want to fucking direct a Dragon Ball Z book?" I don't care what the situation is. I don't care. I don't care if Dragon Ball Super ended the day before I was asked. I would remake Dragon Ball Z Super if someone asked me to, just to be involved in it in any way, shape, or form. So I understand where you're at, but like, I don't think that this isn't how you want it to go down. This is not how you want it to go down. You don't want it to go down that like the Lord of the Rings folks saw some money that they could cash in on at the last minute by using your popularity and, just like the tiniest bit of script that you could possibly have. Like this, I'm not like, I mean, I know what part they're talking about, but like trying to picture it even as anything other than like, I don't know, like a series of 5 daydreams that you could do in the middle of the the middle of the Fellowship that would be like 5 minutes apiece. Just anything other than that seems like too much. Like I it seems like they really just have
They just want to make more.
yeah, they just want to
I
make
mean,
something.
they're doing the. I mean, Harry Potter's going through the same thing right now. They're redoing that as a TV show. Like
Oh
it's just,
well, the Harry Potter
it's
thing's a little different. It's just because J.K. Rowling wants to stop having to be associated with all the people in the original cast that hate her.
yeah. There's that, but yeah,
I I feel like I feel like when this era, this current era of movies and movie media comes to an end, I feel like people will look back on this era and be like no one's gonna look back on this era and be like, man, I really want to watch the I really want to watch the remake of the retelling of the remake of the remaster of blah. Like no one's gonna be watching half the stuff that happened during this era in 20 years.
yeah. There's no Goonies. There's no Gremlins. Like there's no. Well, I mean, I guess there's going to be a Gremlins 3, but
There's gonna be a
and I
Gremlins
guess
3.
and there's going to be a Goonies 2. So I'm issuing myself. I'm going to issue myself a stand down.
I was about to
So
say, wow, you picked the worst two examples you could for this possible situation.
yeah, but my point with that was like, those movies have stood the test of time because they were original. You know what I mean? And like now they're getting ready to experience the whoring.
Yeah.
um Not to the extent of the other stuff, but like, it just is what it is. Like there's not a lot of original ideas. There's a lot of like milking of IP. And that's like my other thing I was going to bring up was, I saw Mortal Kombat with Drake,
Oh, tell me.
but oh, well,
Only thing that I've heard about it was some girl said she went to see it in 4D and one of the machines sprayed water directly into her popcorn.
or what? Oh, are those like immersive chairs or whatever?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Why would they be spraying water? Is this like the Super Nintendo version where it's sweat instead of blood?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but that's what her review was. Don't ever go see it in 4D, and it ruined it ruined her $15 bucket of popcorn because
Oh,
wherever the sprayer was, it sprayed directly into her popcorn.
I would say this is going to be more of a her thing than a Mortal Kombat thing because A, she signed up for it. B, she brought the popcorn knowing full well that it's going to be spraying water at her. It's not like somebody just dumped water on her, you know what I mean? But anyway, I digress. Mortal Kombat was good. Yeah, again, I think Hollywood and just things in general are probably just creatively bring bankrupt at this point. But no, it was good. It's like it fixes a lot of things from the first movie, like that Cole Young guy, which I know a lot of people didn't really like him. Like he was meant to be, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he was meant to be kind of like the viewer's conduit into Mortal Kombat or whatever, which I don't think you really need that. You could just tell a sick Mortal Kombat story. But thankfully, he ends up dying in this movie. But like, death doesn't really matter in Mortal Kombat
Mm-hmm.
in these movies because a lot of the characters that die in the first one are back in the second one.
Well,
It was good, dude.
Mortal
Like,
Kombat does kind of have a weird like thing with death where if you die then you come back as Scorpion or something. So I guess that's
yeah,
not too off.
well, like the Netherworld exists in there, and if you die, you get sent there, and then you can be resurrected and all this other stuff. So yeah, I mean but it was good though. Like having a movie that focused on Johnny Cage and Katana, like Katana specifically, was really, 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 really smart. I don't like. I thought Carl Urban was going to be a little bit more prominent in the movie than he was. Like he's very prominent, but like it was more of a Katana movie than it was a Johnny Cage movie, and I think that the trailers kind of bait and switched you a little bit.
Yeah, I
But
mean, rightfully so.
it was
If
good.
you've got Carl Urban, you might as well put him up on front, up in front.
Yeah, definitely. He makes a great Johnny Cage. Like I thought all the other returning characters were great. Scorpion's back, of course. Him and like Sub Zero is not Sub Zero in the movie. I think he's more of a noob Cybot. Like he does the splitting thing or whatever that
Yeah,
noob does. It's still like what's his name? Bihan or whatever. Bihan?
yeah, something like
Bihan.
that.
Yeah. Anyway, the Bihan sounds right. But he's still that character, but like they don't ever call him like Sub Zero. At least I don't think that they do. But it's good, dude. Like I think it's worth a watch. I don't know if it's worth a trip to the movie theater, but Drake Drake was like he goes he was okay. I was like, well, what'd you think about it? You know, he goes, well, it like the dialogue was really cringy. I'm like, well, yeah.
It's
I
Mortal
mean,
Kombat.
you'll have, it's Mortal Kombat. Like it's dumb fun. Like turn your brain off for a little bit and just watch people uppercut each other into spikes. Not as gross as I thought it was going to be. Like I thought there'd be more um, gory fatalities, that kind of stuff. But
That's kind of
no,
sad.
it was good though. Like it was. It's definitely worth a watch. But I wonder if we, because we don't go to the movies very often. I wonder if we should have just saved it because we were originally going to go see Galaxy 2. We did not. I wonder if we should have saved our movie trip for Mandalorian and Grogu, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can make Drake care about Star Wars right now. So, like we were all burned after Episode 9. Like that movie's legit. Like we people talk about like Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace and stuff being bad, but like those ones are intentionally just not like those have very creative choices. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't if you don't vibe with that, then like that's fine. You know what I mean? But they're not poorly made. They just aged poorly, and George Lucas is just a weird old man. With Episode 9, it was Oscar Isaac at the beginning saying, "Gosh, somehow Palpatine returned,"
Mm.
and going from there. You know what I mean? Like that's a bad movie. So
I like my general thesis on this generation of movies, and I say generation in a weird way because I feel like I feel like the best way I can word this is I feel like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like from when it started until now, is its own generation of movies, and that's like 15 years, but it's still like we kind of always count movies like the 80s movies, the 90s movies, the 2000s movies, but like the Marvel Cinematic Universe until they officially end the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be its own generation of movies. And I feel like what the Marvel Cinematic Universe did, and while they did it in the best way it's been presented, but what it did was create this concept that if you can create a universe that people really love and enjoy, you can pump movie year after year after year after year after year in that universe and draw those crowds. Like when the Marvel Cinematic
yeah,
Universe was cooking, every movie that came out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was a guaranteed at least $50 million, like guaranteed. So like every other studio went like, oh well, we've got universes and we could do this too. And so what happened, what I believe happened, is it made all of these studios so risk averse to anything that they don't know 100% is going to turn into a franchise that they can do year after year after year. That is why I feel like we're getting such a lack of creative and fun new projects coming out, and why we were getting so many sequels, because
oh
they're just
yeah, that's right. I mean, but look at like Disney bombed with John Carter. Do you know anything about that one?
I know it's like
Like
like like financially the worst bomb of all time. I don't know.
right.
all
Well,
of
they
the
put so
details of
much.
why. But
They put so much They put so much money into this movie, and like we're hoping it was like going to spin off the like sequels and all this other stuff, and they just like nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean? And that's just one example. But even like stuff where it's known IP, that kind of stuff, like the well, I mean, Flash is a good example of that stuff too. Just nobody gave a shit. They put so much money into this and rewrote it and blah blah blah. Like nobody cared. I think people are getting tired of universes. I think, and then studios don't want to. They don't want to pump money into something that's not going to make money. You know what I mean? So that's
mhm.
why Harry Potter is getting rebooted. That's why you're seeing more Lord of the Rings. That's why you know I mean, the that's why Robert Downey Jr. is back. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
why Chris Evans is coming back. Like it's just they they're gonna pay these people to come back, and just they're gonna keep making new like Fantastic Beasts that need to happen. That movie got or that's just like a little short story book or whatever, and
yeah,
that got 4 movies
yeah.
or 3 movies. Who knows? It's impossible to know.
What I think is on the horizon, and I'm starting to see it bubbling up. What I think is on the horizon is, instead of what they're doing now, where they're just grabbing these random IPs and seeing what they can sell. I think what's on the horizon is like book series, like book series with established fans that have like 5 books in the series. They're like, well, guess what? We can turn these into 5 movies, or maybe 10 movies if you follow the Hobbit path. But like, I think that's what's going to be next. I think after they give up on comics, because people have just, I wouldn't say have gotten burned out, but I would also kind of say, yeah, people have just gotten burned out. There's just been too many comic book movies. And then, as much as I like some of the TV shows, I think that TV show market that they jumped into during COVID really just like oversaturated people. People were just like,
Oh, totally.
I can't keep up with all these shows and movies and books, and I got to go here and here and here. And like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
and
that,
tying them into the movies too, like making it required, like the show's required viewing. So, like going back to Mandalorian and Grogu, dude, if you want to understand that movie, like I guess from what I've heard, it's fairly standalone. But like, if you got to watch 3 seasons of Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, and I don't recommend anybody watch the Book of Boba Fett.
it just,
Like
I think with it,
that's
I think there's a wall coming. I think there's just, when Marvel, and I think it's right now, it's like make or break. If this Avengers movie doesn't slap, like if it doesn't tear the entire roof off the universe, like if it doesn't hit in game and Infinity War numbers, I think things are going to start to go down, because they're spending in game and Infinity War numbers making it. But
yeah.
if they can't draw
I
that
I don't
audience
know, man.
back, I think it's over.
I think you'll have the audience show up, and then I don't know what that movie does. Like, because what Infinity War and Endgame had was stellar buildup, not just like throughout the whole MCU leading up to it and stuff, but like from Ragnarok going in. Ragnarok was a surprise hit for a lot of people, like myself included. That's what got us back. But Ragnarok being good, and like going right into Infinity War and all that other stuff, like you had that lead in and that build up, and you don't really have that with these ones. Like you were getting what 2 and 3 movies a year, but now it's the ask is too much. Like they're asking you to buy into these Disney Plus TV shows, and they're asking you to buy into these really shitty MCU movies. Some of them have been good, admittedly. Some of them have been good, but like not like, dude, the Quantumania crap. Jesus Christ, get that out of here.
it's
But
it's
like,
like a it's like when they did it the first time, it I mean, it had both. It had all of the I mean, all of the first 5 movies before we got Avengers. All of the first 5 were all like kind of like chat like new, and like they also had this like
introduction.
no one's ever really done it like this before. They had
Right.
that going too. And then once you hit Avengers is good, and Avengers, it doesn't stop. They're like, oh, well, you liked Avengers? Well, there's a big blue guy waiting on you. Let's figure out what's going on with that. And then, they had some misses in parts 2 and 3. I mean, there's, I think one of the worst movies I've ever seen is in 2 and 3. But then, like you said, Ragnarok comes out. It's this thing that like everyone was like, no, Ragnarok is different. You got to go see it. It's good. And then you go see it, and then Ragnarok ends with with basically the teaser to Infinity War. And then you're like, go into Infinity War, and then all of the stuff that you got built up with literally gets torn down in Infinity War. And then it's like, now we got to go get it back. And it's like, yeah. And then we go and we get it back, and they're sacrificed and lost. And it's like, oh my God. And then like, fucking the Eternals comes out. It's like, did you finish Endgame and then hit me with a made-for-TV superhero movie with a bunch of characters who aren't related to any of the characters in the stuff we just watched?
It's so bad.
I can't imagine a ball drop worse than the Eternals. Like, anything, any other show, any other movie instead of that one keeps this going. Any of them, except for maybe Quantumania. But like, any of them keeps this going. But like, Eternals, you completely dropped the ball. Like, you threw that thing in the stands. You threw that thing out of the stadium. Like literally, like, the guys on the court are the Avengers, and they all are passing the ball to each other to keep this thing going. And then if you take a character who's completely not related to the Avengers and completely outside of the scope of the Avengers, has no Avengers in it, you are literally throwing the ball out of the stadium. You are throwing it to another team who is playing a different game. The worst ball drop in the history of anything I can think of in modern history. Like, so much of that momentum is lost right there. And then instead of picking that momentum back up with another character who's going to continue the cycle going, instead you throw it back in the past to Natasha in a prequel. It's like, now you are throwing the ball that was Endgame to a person in a game that has already happened in the past.
Back to the point though, like with kind of whoring all this stuff out, like there's no, I mean, no pun intended, there's no end game with any of this stuff. They're just going to keep going. If the MCU is not going to end with like a definitive like endpoint with friggin' Iron Man dying, like none of this other stuff's going to end. We're going to I don't know what Goonies 2 looks like. I don't, dude. Gremlins 3 could be good. Like, I think more Gremlins is probably a good thing, but Goonies 2 doesn't need to exist. In the same way that like these new Indiana Jones movies, I don't know if you saw that new one, but like, brother, I don't want to see my granddad go through a car window. You know what I mean? Like,
the way I see it, like, okay, the Gremlins has this advantage of it's random. The story of Gremlins could happen any day, on any night, at any time, infinitely, forever. It's just a story about a little thing that we assume has kids somewhere, probably, or others of its kind somewhere, and then it gets wet, and then it eats after midnight, and then shit happens. That could happen any day, any time. But the Goonies.
Do you want to know something funny?
No. Go ahead.
There's a HBO Max cartoon for Gremlins called The Secrets of the Mogwai, and Gizmo might actually be immortal. Like, he just lives. I think he can be killed, but like he just lives forever. it's a great cartoon, honestly, and that's kind of what got me thinking like, hey, Gremlins 3 could be pretty good. But like they go into all these like weird mythical beasts and all that stuff. Like it goes back to like early like late I say late 1800s, early 1900s, like Japan,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm sorry, China. That's really awful of me. That's really awful of me. But the granddad from Gremlins is actually the kid in that show that hangs out with Gizmo. That's how he comes about him. So like now Gremlins has a backstory on top of like the whole like creature of the week type stuff with like the outbreaks and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever Gremlins 3 is probably going to tie into all that crap too, and you're probably going to see some weird mythical beasts.
Yeah, but sorry, that's the story that can happen any day of the week, any month of the year. You know, like you could tell that story, and you know, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be Gizmo. It doesn't have to be his owner. It doesn't have to be in New York. It doesn't have to be any of those things because it's just a little weird creature. It can happen anywhere. But Goonies is very specific about a lot of very specific things. Like there is,
Yeah,
it's literally just like, you know what people like, and someone else in the boardroom was like, what? They're like, the Goonies. And they're like,
yeah,
I like the Goonies. And do you like the Goonies? And the other guy was like, yeah, I like the Goonies. It was like, well, what if we do a sequel to the Goonies? And then he's like, oh man, I'd love a sequel to the Goonies. And then now we have a sequel. Like it's the
yeah.
same thing. It's the same thing. And I love this. I don't know if this is why we were talking about it, but or we were just being completely random. Because one day, we and you on this podcast were talking about them making a Rush Hour 4. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I think so. They are making a Rush Hour 4, I think.
And apparently, as we were talking about it like it would be the worst thing ever, apparently there's a very powerful person who thinks that it would be the best thing ever.
Okay.
Yeah, who
Well,
that is? Do you know who that is? Do you know who it is?
is it? Oh gosh, is it Chris Tucker?
Nope.
Who?
Think very powerful.
Very powerful.
Very powerful.
Oh God, is this bad powerful or good powerful?
The worst powerful.
Is it Donald Trump?
It is Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been lobbying Paramount for the entirety of his term to make a Rush Hour 4, and now they're doing it.
Yeah, he's like, well, you know, you can distract him from the Epstein files. Bring back Chris Tucker.
Exactly that. Exactly that. Donald Trump.
And
And I'm 99.9% sure there is absolutely no chance that the Rush Hour 4 is getting made and he is not in it. There is no way that that movie gets made and Donald Trump's big, dumb, fat, diaper-wearing ass is not in that movie.
we got to get the band back together.
Come on, Jackie. Come on, Jackie. Like, there's no way that movie comes out and Donald Trump's big fat ass is not in it.
Kung Fooey. That's what we call him.
Going to Chinatown. Great place. Everybody there loves me. Big guy, strong guy, started crying, talking about how much he loves me in Chinatown.
I wouldn't cry.
In Chinatown. China.
I think that's probably a good point to wrap it up. Honestly.
Yeah, I was like, I remember us talking about this, and I remember me literally telling you to stop talking about it before it happened. Like, I'm gonna find that episode and find that clip because I'm like, stop talking about this. Someone is gonna hear us, and they're gonna make this fucking movie.
I don't like Rush Hour.
I love Rush Hour.
I don't know if that's what we were talking. We were talking about buddy cop movies or something like that.
Yes, we were. We were having a conversation about how the Marvel Cinematic Universes were going to end, and then buddy cop movies were going to come back.
That's right. Well, I'll expect my check in the mail.
Yeah. Fucking Paramount or whoever's making this, I want my check. And if Aquafina's in it, I'm getting my check.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, we were talking about Aquafina, weren't we? You know what's funny? I don't think Donald Trump can tell the difference between Jackie Chan and Aquafina.
Probably not. This is why I try to make sure as much as possible that we steer these conversations clear of politics because I don't want stuff like this to happen, and it makes me so mad that this is the one. It makes me so mad that
Yeah.
this is the one that came true anyways.
Well, you win some, you lose some, I guess.
All right. Well,
Anywho,
yeah, let's go ahead. My positive for the day is just think I've been taking some time as like I have a chiropractor who like works on my back now, which I've never had before. So that's interesting. And like sometimes you don't know how effed up something is until the professional goes, "Hey, do you understand how tight your calves are?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's like, "No, like they're like I'm trying to acupuncture you and I can't get the needle in. Like your calves are really tight. You got to work on that." So like sometimes getting a professional diagnosis is important.
yep.
Got any positives for us?
I have two. Number one is drink water.
Yes.
And number two, I already kind of brought it up, but like, dude, like unplug every once in a while. You don't know how addicted you are to your phone until like you're not using it and you go and you subconsciously go to reach for it. Like,
Right.
do you know how many, even me, somebody who doesn't like use it as much, like I have to use it for work. I literally have to have my cell phone, which sucks. But like, I don't do social media. I don't do, like, I listen to music on it, basic stuff, you know what I mean? But even somebody that is not as engaged as most, still reaching for it when it's not there. That's addiction, my friend. Take some time to unplug, like turn your phone off for a little bit. I don't want to touch grass, as the kids say, you know what I mean? But like engage, like be present. Don't be just waiting for the next scroll or the next video or whatever, but like just disengage. So
Yeah.
I've got a vacation coming up, as I usually take my birthday week off. And based off of how I felt yesterday, like it took me a little bit to break myself of the whole like, where's my phone? You know what I mean? But I'm shutting my phone off that whole week. So I'll have my son will be home. School's out for the summer. My wife will be home. My daughter's here. I'm shutting that thing off. So I may turn it on my birthday for the attaboys. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Those
Get
happy birthday messages.
get those sweet
But
endorphin hits.
yeah, feed me with the positivity. Yay me! But no, like just disengage for a little bit. You don't know how good it feels to just break away for a little bit until you do it. So
Yeah. And
we're all addicted.
for those people who I'm gonna narc on my wife a little bit. For those
Ugh.
people who don't engage in social media, as in they don't post things, but they watch all the time, that does also include you.
Me?
No, I'm talking about my wife. Andrea is one of those people who like, I don't do social media, but she's like on TikTok all day scrolling. And I'm like, what do you call this?
That's worse.
She's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not posting. I'm like, yeah, but you're still on social media. You're still taking all of that shit in, even if you're not posting or commenting. You're still taking it all in. It's still part of it. And she's like, no, it's not. I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you. It's your brain. You do what you
That's
want with it. But I'm telling you, it's part of it. And you got to like disengage. You got to turn it off. You got to stop watching. You got to stop listening. You got to stop, listening to Reddit stories and people's terrible ex husbands and blah blah blah. You got to turn all of it off if you're trying to disengage. But
yeah. Yep. You can't like there can't be like yeah buts with it. Just turn it off.
turn it off.
You know, turn it off. It's not honestly, dude. None of it's good for you. So, and I'm not talking even just the social media stuff. I'm talking about just the little. There's a lot of good that that can come from your phone and all that, but like just the phone itself, you know,
Yeah,
put it away, put it somewhere else. But anyway,
yeah.
I'm done preaching.
Yeah, this is a thing that that I've like I haven't put into words to say, but like I haven't done the scientific research, but I feel like taking in 100 to 150 different random people that you've never met, faces, stories, informations every day is probably bad for your brain. Like like forming small connections with a thousand people every week that you never meet in your life and you have no idea who they are or what they do is probably bad. Probably bad.
Oh, it's terrible for you. So, and then even just like if you're like for me, like I had YouTube and stuff, but I found myself even like doom scrolling. I
Mm,
found myself just scrolling, just and it's the same videos that pop up. It's that weird algorithm stuff.
yeah. And like,
So it's just feeding you the same crap.
yeah, I'm trying to get out of here so I could. We'll have to talk about this on another podcast because I'm trying to end this one.
Yeah.
But like, I like the idea. Like, I think like base human brain stuff, like literally seeing another human being and like making a small connection with that person and then them disappearing forever to a different random person over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like it's it has to do something bad to your brain. I can't describe it because I'm not a doctor, but it has to. There's no way that that's healthy for you. So just like you said, like we've been saying, like separate yourself, take some time, log off, take your phone, put it in your drawer, leave it there for 6 to 8 hours. Just try and separate yourself because you need to allow your brain to calibrate itself to the people who are around you and not these random strangers on the internet.
Yep. Or put it in the microwave.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it worked for the Gremlins.
Game Grumps does not approve this message. Please do not put anything in the microwave that might contain electronics or metal that might cause your microwave to set on fire and blow up and cause your whole house to burn down. Game Grumps are not responsible
No,
for any fires that are created by this message. Yeah, do that.
no, put it in the microwave.
Okay.
There's a
Wimmity wham,
popcorn setting on there.
wimmity wham
Just
wham wazzle. I will catch y'all later. I love you.
popcorn setting. Tell Large Marge sent you.
Peace. You're gonna burn somebody's house down.
I'm not doing it. I'm just influencing people to do it. I'm like Palpatine in the shadows, orchestrating my evil plot to
I love it
burn
when the
everybody's house down.
I love it when the podcast goes full circle. We made it all the way back to Palpatine.
Yep, what we do.